Negotiations will be continuing. Right now, the Doctors Union, KMPDU, has a caretaker committee holding brief for the officials, but they have no mandate to negotiate on behalf of the Doctors Union. So, Betty, waiting to see what will unfold here at their Court of Appeal. Betty.
Chigo, is it peculiar that the Council of Governors has not filed an objection to this particular suit by doctors?
Well, the Council of Governors lawyer was in court this morning before the parties were given a few minutes, and the judge, Wanjiru Karanja, when the lawyer rose to speak, was asking, do you have any objection to this appeal? She says, because I had the chairman yesterday at a press conference saying they were not opposed to the release of the doctors from jail, and so the lawyer was saying they are ready to proceed, but they did not have any documents to present before court. So it will be an interesting thing to hear whether the lawyer will be speaking in the same voice with their client. At a press conference yesterday, the COG, perhaps from the pressure that has been mounting, indicated that they are ready to continue with negotiations and also said they were not opposed to the release of the 7 union officials. Betty.
All right, let's also talk about the urgency, Rita. How soon are we likely to have a ruling on this particular matter? Because, like you mentioned, it is really urgent that the Doctors Union officials are out so that negotiations can continue. And are we also expecting something different from the industrial court, rather, the ruling that they made about them going to court? Because at the end of the day, they were in contempt of court.
Well, Betty, this is not your ordinary case, I would say. Yesterday, Dr. Cleopa Mailu, the health CS, saying that he had met the Attorney General in the morning. He had met a legal team with the pressure that is mounting on the government over the jailing of these Doctors Union officials. And he told the Senate Health Committee that he was doing everything possible within the law. So we are yet to see what perhaps the Attorney General recommended, what that legal team is considering as the options. Normally, if an appeal is filed, the judge will hear the appeal, set a date for the hearing before the ruling is made. So ordinarily, there is very few instances when you will file an appeal and it's heard on the same day and the ruling is made on the same day. So it will be interesting to see whether several issues that have been coming up in the last few days will influence this, and the mounting public pressure on the government, whether it will have any bearing on this and whether we'll have a new, let's say, precedent on how an appeal can be made, a ruling can be had, and the case can be had and ruling can be made. Will they follow the normal procedure? Since it's an issue of public interest, will then the court handle it as a special circumstance? And within the law, what can the court then do to ensure that this matter is handled as a matter of urgency? Betty.
All right, finally, Rita, how soon are we expecting the court to be back in session?
Well, I cannot say with certainty on that, Betty. Right now, they have retreated, going to agree, as I mentioned, on how they want to make their submissions. But even before the judge allowed them time to go and consult, she mentioned herself, Wanjiru Karanja, who is leading the 3-judge bench, she mentioned that this is a matter of urgency. And so that's why she asked the participants to just go and decide how they want to proceed in the fastest way possible. The submissions that will be made, let's say from the governors, Council of Governors side, from the legal team representing the Doctors Union officials. They have several lawyers, maybe appoint senior counsel James Orengo to present on behalf of all of them. There is the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. There is the Law Society of Kenya seeking to be enjoined as well. So, we can only wait and see how long they will be back in court. There were several other cases lined up today at the Court of Appeal. And even as you saw, when this case was given, the participants were given time, the parties were given time to go and consult. Another case was already going on. But the judge saying this is a matter of urgency, perhaps he will give them first priority when they are ready and they are back in court. Betty.
All right, thank you very much, Rita Tinina. They're joining us from the Supreme Court, and we'll be going back there once the court is back in session to really listen into what the proceedings, the submissions will be like.